The control tower at Edmonton's International Airport has some impressive aesthetics, but it's not just a pretty face. Significant engineering challenges had to be overcome, including construction while the airport was still fully operational.
The airport tower is an expansion to the existing retail hall and a new office and control tower. The control tower needed to be relocated from the existing site because of the expansion that the airport was doing.
One of the biggest challenges was getting a project that could be constructed on the air side at the airport. So that meant that transportation to the site was important.
Structurally, we cantilevered a big part of this plate out over top of the runway so that operations weren't impacted by turning the tower, but 90 degrees basically to the retail hall.
Every window on the building is different, every piece of cladding on the building is different, and so a lot of coordination is involved in doing that.
One of the things that I personally am most proud of in the project is the fact that we used steel plate shear wall, and that was the first time that it has been used in Western Canada.
When we actually stand back and look at it, it has become a bit of an icon for Edmonton.
The tower has now become one of Edmonton's landmark structures, but its major engineering achievements, airside construction, cladding, redundant design, and more, make it a worthy finalist for a CISC Alberta Engineering Award. Visitors to Jasper National Park can now have the experience of walking on air 280 meters above the ground on the Glacier Skywalk. Creating this illusion in steel and glass called for a number of engineering feats.
The entire project's about half a kilometer long, but it's very narrow. There's about 300 meters of trail that visitors walk down.
And it all kind of culminates in a large, exciting, glass-bottomed cantilever that puts you right out over the valley. The geometry of it, it's like a suspension bridge would be, but twisted onto its side and curved. You're taking loads vertically, you're taking out twists, everything is going on simultaneously.
The system we're using for the glass walk is inherently flexible, and we actually had to incorporate tune mass dampers, very successful in reducing the vibration due to people. But we also had to introduce wind deflectors to stop it vibrating too much under wind load.
If you're standing out on that glass walk, we've tried to minimize to the utmost the amount of structure that's immediately below your feet. And we've pulled all of that to the inside of the curve so you get that perception of sort of floating on air.
All this engineering results in a structure that will give visitors an unforgettable thrill and breathtaking views of the park's natural beauty, which is why the Glacier Skywalk is a worthy finalist for the CISC Alberta Engineering Award. Saline Creek Drive needed a pedestrian bridge that would also serve as a gateway to the city of Fort McMurray. A dramatic design was proposed which could only be achieved with structural steel and some first-class engineering.
The Saline Creek Bridge project is a bridge located up in Fort McMurray, crossing the Hanging Stone River. It consists of a road bridge and a pedestrian bridge.
The drive for this project was to create a landmark or to create a gateway to the community.
There were no straight lines on this job. The deck was curved, super elevated. The arch was curved, tilted, cables coming across the planes. The concept behind the steel was to create an arch that they would be able to use as a material that could reflect LED lights, reminiscent or comparable to the Northern Lights.
We all had 3D models, BIM models, that we used to check each other's work. And at the very end, before we went to do the erection, they used the point cloud system to confirm where the anchor bolts were. And it basically eliminated all the risk from the erection.
The success for us is when we lifted that arch and it went right into place. Within 2 hours, it was sitting in the right spot. Within 8 hours, we were torqued down and ready to release the crane, and it really was a great success for the job.
The bridge's ease of construction is a major engineering feat, equaled by its striking profile, which has made it a beloved community icon. The Saline Creek Pedestrian Bridge, a worthy finalist for a CISC Alberta Engineering Award.